him and tell you a little bit about him. And that's our head baseball coach here at Berkeley High School, Mr. Landy Cox. Landy has been the baseball coach here at Berkeley High School for some 15 odd years and has had tremendous success here at Berkeley High School. He is the 4-time Low Country Baseball Coach of the Year. That is not an easy feat, guys, and we are tickled to death to have him represent our town of Moncks Corner. His teams have played in the lower state championships in the following years: 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. He's had 2 players from Berkeley High School drafted. That is an awesome feat, and we are tickled about having those players in the next level as well. Landy has also coached at the next level. He was a college coach at Gardner-Webb University, which is also where he played baseball. He was involved in 2 teams in the Division II College World Series while at Gardner-Webb University. So without any more waiting, we're going to introduce to you our guest speaker tonight, Coach Landy Cox.
Thank you very much. How about that introduction again? What do you think about the introduction with the kids coming up? That was awesome. They say in my church, if that don't make you fire, if that don't make your wood burn, your firewood's what? Is wet. Okay, that got me fired up. I was ready to go after that introduction. First of all, I want all the players that's in this right now. I'm a PE person, so I want all of you to stand up right now. I want you to stand up. I want you to turn around. You may not know exactly where they're at, but I want you to turn around and I want you to face where your parents or whoever brought you here. I want you to face them right now. On the count of 3, I want every one of you to say thank you. 1, 2, 3. All right, stay right where you're at, okay? Stay right, because I got somebody else that I think is very important. I want you right now to find your coaching staff, and I want you to point at your coaching staff, and this time we're going to say thank you, coaches, on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, grab your seat real quick. I think it is absolutely awesome that we have a group. You guys have decided to play Dixie Youth Baseball. We've got a world, and not a bit when I say anything negative about it, because most of you probably do play travel ball, but you decided to play for your community, you decided to play for your town. There's somebody here, there's probably a lot of people here, because I've seen it happen before, that you got a friend back at home that they said, we're not messing with Dixie Youth Baseball this year, and now you've made the state tournament. How many people know that's going on right now? And now they wish they was here to play Dixie Youth Baseball. Because I can promise you one thing, it doesn't matter how many travel ball games, it doesn't how many college baseball games or high school baseball games, it doesn't get much better than this introduction. And 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. tomorrow, it doesn't get much better than what you'll see. So I want to congratulate you. We have some outstanding young men here, I'm sure. When you're dealing with 9 and 10-year-olds, you got guys that will commit one day to South Carolina Clips, and they'll be draft picks that'll come out of the same group. I've been doing it long enough, and that's the way it is. And there'll be some players out of this group one day, and you'll be able to see. I'm not some fancy talker. I'm going to talk about 3 things. It's going to be short and quick. We got a special guy coming up next that I'm excited, and I'm sure you would be excited to hear from. My first thing, and I want you to say it, I want you to repeat it right behind me. It's the little things. I want you to say it one more time. It's the little things. The College Baseball World Series this year did not come from a big grand slam. It didn't come from a pitcher throwing a perfect game. It come from not calling a ball on a fly ball. Guys, sometimes it's just the little things. I watched the SEC baseball tournament this year, and the baseball coach at Vanderbilt, his name is Tim Corbin. He coached at Presbyterian College and also at Clemson. And they had the cameras in front of him, and he talked for a few minutes, and the cameraman walked off, and for whatever reason, he turned back and faced him again, and when he did, He was on the ground. Guy makes $1 million a year coaching college baseball, and he was picking trash up off the ground. Guys, look here. It's not the big things. A lot of times it's just the little things. The last thing I want to say about this, I was up in Clemson at the state baseball tournament, and the team that won it, I'm not going to name them because it's probably one of the rivals here, so you probably know who that winner was because they're a big rival with somebody that's in here. But that team, I watched that team, and I like to see sometimes the group that wins it. I like to see how they do. Maybe they do something a little bit different. And that team rode together. That team ate together. Their coaches wore uniforms. They had their shirt tail tucked in at all the time. I watched them close. And I got to thinking about that thing. I said, you know, sometimes it's not the big things. Sometimes it's just what? It's just the little things sometimes. So I want you tomorrow, remember, it might not be the guy that hits the grand slam. It might be the guy that just lays a bunt down. But sometimes it's just the little things. The second thing I want you to repeat behind me, this is an important one. This is as big as anything. I want you to say, it's not about me. For 1 week of the year, I want you to know it's not about me. Okay? It's about the team. It's about the community. When you play in travel ball or you playing in some showcase tournament, it might be something about you. But when you're playing for this town and this community that you're from, I want you to know that it's not about me. Parents, understand this. If the coach plays him in a different position this week, it's not about me. It's about the team that you're playing for. So let's make sure that we back the coaches. Kids, let's make sure we back our teammates. I watched my son, he was 7 years old, and I watched him up at Clemson, and I took one picture the entire weekend, and it was after we got beat in the last game, and tears was running down his face, and sweat was on his cap, and I mean, he had gave everything he had. And I looked, and I said, you know, it was one thing about it. It wasn't about him that day. It was about the town of Moats Corner, and it was him giving his best for his community. So let's make sure that we do our best of it's not about me this week, because this has turned into a me world, and that's just the way things are now. So let's make sure that this week is not about me. The last thing is a saying that we've used for a long time, and we use it from different walks of life. We also use it with baseball, and hopefully you can use that this week. It's called find a way. Everybody right now say find a way. Find a way. No matter what the question is, if kids can't get to weightlifting during the summer, I just look at them and they know what I'm going to say. I'm going to shrug my shoulders and I'm going to say find a way. Parents, you might be right now, have something going on back at home that you dread to go back and deal with. You've got to find a way. Players, tomorrow something's going to go negative. You might walk the first batter of the game. You might hit the first batter of the game. You might make an error that costs you a game tomorrow. But you got to find a way. You got to find a way. The teammates have got to find a way to be a good teammate. Because you can understand one thing. Teammates, I want you to listen to this here. Teammates need you most when they least deserve it. I'm going to say that a second time. Teammates need you the most when you least deserve it. I don't need, it was a few years ago, we were in Dolores, she named those years, 13, 14, 15, 16. We were right there in close to a state championship. And I didn't need somebody to walk up and tell me, Coach, you're doing a great job. But the last couple of years, we hadn't quite been as strong. And there's been times that I needed somebody to walk up and say, Coach, you got it. You're okay. Keep doing things the way you do it. So I want you to understand tomorrow, when something doesn't go exactly your way, be a good teammate tomorrow and walk up to them. And it's not when they hit that home run, or it's not when they ended that inning with a strikeout. It's when they just maybe cost you the game. And you put your arm around them, and you make sure that you be a good teammate in those situations. Last thing I want to tell you is this right here. I heard somebody say that this past weekend. I don't care if you win this tournament. And I was just telling a man a second ago, a friend of mine a second ago, I said 16 of the best teams in the state of South Carolina, somebody's going to be the man when they walk out of this place later this week. If you lose the first 2 games, or if you win the championship in this thing, I want you to understand, to get to this point where you're at right now, there's a lot of kids sitting at home right now that would love to be where you're at right now. If you ever watch Major League Baseball, and you see a kid or a player strike out, or you see a pitcher that gives up a big home run, you'll never see, hardly ever, see a Major League player drop their head down the chain. They'll keep their head up. You watch that sometime, and you watch what the best always do. We had a player that played here. His name was Bruce Ellington. He played for South Carolina. He played for the Texans. Played for Texans. right now. And Bruce, you would never see him put his head down. Even when things wouldn't go right, he would keep his head up. So when something goes negative or don't go exactly the way you want this way, I want you to keep your head up. And again, 2 losses or win the championship. Everybody that's in front of me right now for getting this far, you're a winner. Good luck this week, guys. Thank you.
Guys, I hope you took notes. Wise quote from a wise man. Coach Cox, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your words of wisdom. Next up, guys, untie your shoes, sit back, and relax.